Gibbs free energy. 2. Number of electrons involved in a cathode reaction, and Faraday's constant. Okay. Now, if I come to actual scenario of fuel cell, this is actual potential to 1.23 volts of given component. Okay. So for the real-time applications, always smaller compared to the theoretical cell potentials because of irreversible voltage losses. These losses are mainly attributed to main three factors. Okay, if we talk about the theoretical and the actual efficiency of an proton exchange membrane fuel cell, so three characters due to these three losses. We can't able to achieve 100% of our what we say 100% of our performance of this proton exchange membrane fuel cell. Okay, so what are the three factors which are attributed for this in order to not to achieve the 100% efficiency of this proton exchange membrane fuel cell? They are: first, activation losses. These losses are owing to sluggish, that means slug formation across the electrode kinetics. Okay. Then ohmic losses. So these are the losses caused by resistance to ion and electron flow through membrane electrode assembly and stacks electrically conductive components respectively. Okay. So these are the losses which are occurred. Concentration losses are the losses because of mass transport when a reactant is more quickly used than the supplied. Okay, so these are the three losses through which we can able to designate the losses of this uh, to not to achieve this actual efficiency. Okay, so now if we talk about the advantages of this proton exchange membrane fuel cell, yeah, we can able to know that it is a promising conductor for next generation energy sources because their striking features including high efficiency. That means it can able to, although there are three losses like activation losses, ohmic losses, or concentration losses, we can able to know that it has high efficiency. It can able to reach up to 80%. Okay, easy scale up and zero environmental pollution. That is the one thing. Okay, so other advantages are low operating temperatures, which I have already discussed in our previous one comparison with other fuel cells. High power and energy density, different fuel sources. Commonly, hydrogen can be used, otherwise methanol can also be used. Robust in nature, highly efficient energy conversion. Okay, when compared to IC engines. So because of these advantages, we can able to take for proton exchange membrane fuel cell. So here one more thing, guys. So proton exchange membrane based fuel cell actually, I mean, when compared to internal combustion engines, this is environmental friendly, and it has a byproduct of water and oxygen. Everything is fine, but waste management of this fuel cell after, okay, after what we say, after its lifetime. So that nowadays, I mean, this is my perspective that in future trends, so waste management of this fuel cells is another challenging aspect when compared to the internal combustion engines. That is one of the drawbacks which I can able to say about this proton exchange membrane fuel cell. But yeah, as a byproduct or as a advantages, if we talk about this proton exchange membrane fuel cell or whatever might be the fuel cell which we are using, so there we can able to know that these are far better in terms of efficiency, in terms of eco-friendly in nature, in terms of energy generation processes or low utilization of low grade energy sources like waste heat recovery. So we can able to use such type of technologies in this proton exchange membrane fuel cells. But the waste management after the life period or lifespan of this proton exchange membrane fuel cell or any other fuel cells is a challenging aspect which need to be looked into, guys. So if you want to really focus on this research area of fuel cell, so waste management of fuel cell is one of the trending research area which you can able to focus on. Okay. So here, most commonly, used membranes for proton exchange membrane is NOFIN. Okay, so this is sulfonated tetrafluoroethylene based fluoropolymer, a copolymer, most widely used polymer electrolyte for manufacturing of fuel cells. Okay, so this is the fuel cell most commonly used in order to have a perfect, electron as well as proton separation process. Okay. Here, in order to make use of the patterns, so if we want to, what we say, if you want to manufacture this type of membranes, NOFIN membranes, which are used for fuel cells. So two types of methodologies can be adopted for getting a pore size of matrix pattern. Okay, so in order to have a good pore size of matrix pattern, we can able to use these network models. One is Grigg model and other one is Scamditch-Broll model. Okay, so these two models are used in different perspectives in order to make the use of membrane. These two models both are similar, which can able to use for manufacturing of membranes. Okay, this can able to use to analyze the pattern. How I can able to distinguish the pattern in such a way that equal distribution of pore size or most common distribution of pore size depending upon the requirement of fuel cell application can be processed. Okay. So coming to the in the fuel cell applications, proton exchange membrane based fuel cell applications, if I talk about further enhancement in this proton exchange membrane based fuel cell applications, so there are further developments have been taking place in recent years that are for a design of experiments, that is DOE target. Here platinum and ruthenium electrodes instead of platinum are used as electrolyte for better efficiency of the PEM fuel cells, that means proton exchange membrane based fuel cells. And one more thing is that in order to reduce the cost. Okay. And here ideally we can able to, this type of advanced fuel cells can able to use tolerate this carbon monoxide and sulfur present in the hydrogen fuel. Okay. So you can able to see here in the picture when compared to the proton exchange membrane with platinum as a electrolyte, if we go for platinum ruthenium as a electrolyte, we can able to have a better efficiency and better power generation, as well as it is of cost effective. Okay. Now, what are the critical barriers that are there in this fuel cell for proton exchange membranes? Okay, one is hydrogen storage. Okay, so Professor Sachsekhar from IIT Jammu will talk about this in a detail about hydrogen storage and their applications in this. But I just want to give just a brief glance about the critical path barriers. So here we are using, two kinds of fuels we will be using. One is hydrogen and other one is methanol. So if we talk about the hydrogen, then here hydrogen storage is an really a challenging aspect. Okay, so hydrogen storage means here novel materials like metal hydrates, carbon nanotubes are used, but storage of hydrogen is a bit tough job. And one more thing is that weight of your car will also increase because of the hydrogen storage capabilities. Here more research is going on by Professor P. Muthukumar from IIT Guwahati, who is the eminent professor in the field of hydrogen storage, where he is studying and analyzing the research on hydrogen storage to enhance the, to reduce the weight and enhance the material for a given weight, and as well as to improve the material characteristics in compact in nature, so that we can able to utilize in fuel cell applications. Further, fuel cell cost. So this is one of the challenging aspect. The cost of the fuel cell is, as of now, as there is no much mass production of this fuel cells takes place only in India. If we, I forgot about the abroad Western countries, but in India, this fuel cells manufacturing hub not at full-fledged developed for mass production. That is one challenging aspect. We have to import from other countries. Okay, and one more thing is that this also has high temperature operation issues. That means we can't able to use for high temperature operations like in power plants. Okay, degradation mechanisms and nanostructures. That is one of the challenging aspects which we need to look after it. Moreover, the cost of the hydrogen. So here the cost of the hydrogen means solar hydrogen production and bio-inspired hydrogen production can also be generated, which yesterday our Anna University ma'am has also discussed about this hydrogen productions and all through bio-inspired thing. But I just want to make a note of it that hydrogen cost is also a critical barrier. So these are the three critical barriers like hydrogen storage, fuel cell cost, hydrogen cost. So among these, in order to eradicate these barriers, more research is going on in terms of hydrogen storage based on metal hydrogen carbon nanotubes, in terms of fuel cell cost for mass production purposes, and hydrogen cost through solar hydrogen production, bio-inspired hydrogen production. Okay. Now, so these are the current trending applications in the Western countries, which fuel cells are as of now. So power sources for vehicles such as cars, trucks, buses, and even boats and submarines. These fuel cells are used, which is changing the technology in order to reduce the carbon emissions and improve the environmental or eco-friendly nature. Okay. So power sources for spacecraft, remote weather stations, and military technology. These fuel cells can also be used. So here, batteries for electronics such as laptops and smartphones are used because of the compactness. Okay. Moreover, sources for uninterruptible power supplies, like we can able to use as inverters or chargers in order to have a uninterrupted power supply. Okay. Oh, so till now I talked about other things, but in India, in October 2020, CSIR has developed a first fuel cell vehicle, which is a proud moment to our Indian guys on this PEM, that proton exchange membrane based fuel cell application, which can able to drive for 60 to 65 kilometers per hour, and with a charge of one proton exchange membrane based fuel cell, we can able to go for 1,000 kilometers. Okay, and maximum speed which we can able to achieve in this as of now till date is 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, these are the India's fuel launched in October 2020, jointly developed by CSIR and KPIT. Okay, so I guess I mean Tata and Mahindra already they have launched some of the fuel cells, but based on proton exchange membrane based fuel cell, still there is a much research needs to be going on. But the good news is that we are in a we are in a commercialization stage of this fuel cell project based on this proton exchange membrane module. Okay, so if I talk about this proton exchange membrane future applications, okay, what can be the future applications? So power systems for portable electronic devices, micro combined heat and power. This is one of the thing where we can able to use the fuels as LPG, natural gas, and CNG. Okay, auxiliary power units in the sense we can able to use this as an other power source like generator for using LPG as a fuel. Then distributed combined heating and power, which in Western countries they have in a research stage. In this we can able to use natural gases in order to generate combined power and heat. Okay, CHP. Then larger power units can also be generated of size 1000 to 10,000 kilowatt using these fuels. Okay. So now, till now, I have talked about the advantages of membranes and what are its processes and everything. But I just want to give a glance about membrane drawbacks also. Okay, so the membrane drawbacks are low membrane lifetime because of rupturing in nature or every 4 years as of now from my practical experience based on PVDF membrane, so we need to change for every 4 years. This is one barrier. Then low selectivity, that means low penetration processes with increase in lifetime. Low mass transfer and flux takes place. Okay, and the scaling issues is linear. That means as the life of the membrane increases, so scaling issues will be increases drastically. So we, because of that, as I already showed you the FESM images of that one. So rupture or otherwise filling of pore size may take place. Okay. Then concentration polarization. So concentration polarization in the sense that means improvement of improvement of absorption material or improvement of proton or exchange material, electron material in an efficient manner may not occur. Now, for example, I can claim that proton exchange membrane based fuel cell can able to exhibit 80% of efficiency. But as the lifetime increases, as the lifespan of that proton exchange membrane increases, it may degrade because here whole system is depending upon that particular membrane, how it can able to separate the electron and proton. Okay, so that's why this can be termed as one of the drawbacks. Okay. And falling issues, as I told you, falling issues may occur. That means degradation of membrane may take place with increasing this thing. So these are the different categories which I have disseminated my knowledge on membrane technology based on properties, based on characteristics, based on utilization aspects, and based on different types of membrane advantages and disadvantages. Later on, I also explained about the fuel cell membrane. Okay, what is fuel cell, why we have to use the fuel cell, and what are the practical difficulties in fuel cell. Also, I have explained as a waste management issues. And one more thing, I also explained that this in this fuel cells, proton exchange membrane based fuel cell are much prominent, has higher efficiency and can able to use low grade energy sources, and this can has a future applications and vast research direction if we talk about. Okay, when compared to internal combustion engines, forgot about the life expectancy or otherwise waste management, but when compared to others, if we forget about these two, then proton exchange membranes can be a bright future when compared to internal combustion engines. Okay. So with this note, I just want to thank you all for your kind attention and listening to my work. So if you have any queries, you can address please. So anyone has any query? So Amit Kumar Mittal, do you have any query? Amit Kumar?
Sir, we have a two queries in chat box.
Oh, okay. So here binders in the catalyst in EMF application. Okay. So here, what is the function of adding ionic binders in the catalyst slurry in PEA, proton exchange membrane based fuel cell fabrication? So this is one of the query which has been raised. So here, I mean the polymer electrolyte binder provides the ionic conductivity, while the carbon support of this catalyst improves the electric conductivity, okay, as well as enables platinum metal loading, okay. So because of this, I mean, this is the advantage of this thing. And one more thing is that the electric conductivity in the composite electrodes is typically more than 40 times higher than the proton conductivity. Okay. So if we add more ionic binders, we have a advantages of having 40 times higher proton conductivity, and then afterwards enables low platinum metal loading as well as improves electrical conductivity. Okay. So okay, polarization curve. Okay. So, acha, is it possible to reuse the membrane? So yes, I mean some of the membranes we can't able to reuse, but if I want to explain about the expectancy, that means if we use in a daily use basis, then we can able to use only for you know 4 years of lifespan. But if I want to use for uh, reuse purposes, I guess most likely reuses can be done. Yeah, if there are two possibilities. Okay, so we can able to reuse these membranes when we heat it up to a, when we remove that, that scaling what has been framed across the membrane. Okay, and then afterwards we can improve this based on the porosity, pore size of a membrane if it is very effective. Okay, so if we talk about the reuse of the membrane, so these are the two possibilities. If we remove the scaling issues or fouling issues, and then afterwards if we want to improve the you know uh, pore size of that particular thing, then you can able to use the membrane for reuse. But most oftenly we can't able to use this membrane for reuse. Okay, so if I talk about the polarization curve, so here polarization curve, if we able to mention, I mean, yeah, I mean here I did not explain about the polarization curve, but I will share you a document regarding the polarization curve in my in recent while. Okay, so you can go through that document. which you can able to analyze the effect of polarization when with increase in vapor permeability. Okay. Then some other best alternative to platinum electrode catalyst. Okay. So if we know about the other best alternatives to platinum electrode catalysts, if I talk about yeah, I have already explained that. That means there is advanced proton exchange membrane with using platinum and ruthenium as a catalyst. This is one of the thing which through which we can able to use for you know for for better efficiency and for more life expectancy. So instead of this, platinum ruthenium catalyst can be used for improving the performances of existing fuel cell, as well as we can also use this platinum ruthenium catalyst for you know enhancing the characteristics across the membrane in order to separate cathode and ion. Okay, so we can also use graphene. Okay, we can also use graphene as a electrode catalyst for separation of gases or for separation of membranes. I mean, for separation of electron and proton, we can also use graphene. Okay, but it is as of now practically not readily available, but for in future cases we can able to use this thing. Okay. So still any other queries? So if you don't have any queries, then thank you all. Thank you for attending this lecture session. So with this, I will wind off. Amit. Amit. Raj. Okay. I guess it is. Okay, so shall we wind it up? Or,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can end the session, sir.
Yeah. So so next session will begin at 10:30 from
10:30.
IIT Delhi. So
Dr. Anil Verma. Yes, sir.
Anil Verma. Okay. Dr. Anil Verma will give a glance about his expertise in fuel cells. Okay. So you can join the meeting around 10:30. Till then, see you. So you, Bhaskar, you can please display the next speakers.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
One person saying he is waiting.
Hello. Sir, tell me. The data science. Yes. Okay. 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 Ah. Yes, that is. He is here only. He is here only. Sir. We will update. Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Ah. Mm. 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 Okay. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay. Mm. Mm.
Tell me.
He told to update his enable mode. He sent to your mail.
Yeah, just now I'm taking. What is then what to do? I'll not share any screen. Right?